Let's get the hair a bit neater. Right, so where were we? On step 6. So first of all, 3D printing stuff. I think I showed these last week, or you could just sort of see them off the side. So I've got all the screws and everything all kind of organised. And so I've got a few of those. These trays are also really good because they stack. They're like a little, you can see that, there's like a little lip there. So I've got all my parts to the side. Right. I do need an extra table though. Let's try and organise this table because I haven't been at this table for a week. Because I figured I'm just going to leave it alone and do all these live. So where was we? We've got the chassis. I did have to do an extra little bit. I didn't have to. I just didn't notice that the live stream just quit on me last week. So yeah, I did do one extra little bit. So these are all screwed on. What I'm going to do now is, oh, I've got a few extra parts. So I got some of these adapters for the battery. So all these are, so there's a set of 4, and it's just converting that Dean's to an XC60. And we've got the male and female side, so going either way, 2 of each. And I got my kit of screwdrivers, not the official Tamiya one, but that's because it's extortionately expensive here. So I've just gone with a generic RC car kit. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to pull my phone out. And just get rid of that. Let's pop this in the drawer so it's out of the way. Right. Move this. Let's just get this kit open. So this is, use my snippers. So I don't have the Tamiya kit, so I can't comment on how good or bad this kit is. But this was just an Amazon special, and it said it's for RC cars. I believe it's got all the same stuff that you would get in the Tamiya kit. So, right, so one downside already, it doesn't lock. So that kind of sucks a bit. Unless I'm missing something. And then we have the 2 sets of Doodle Watsits. Pop those back in there, pop that to the side. Now what I am going to do is, because I had it last time, is get that frog instruction manual, and let's have a look at where we were. So if I go here, so we've done all this, blah, blah, done that bit. So I got up to 5, and then I just suddenly noticed, oh, the stream died for reason. Hey, so Leon, you might be making it, and Wisecracker. Why wisecracker. No, this is a Tamiya Frog. So it is a RC car. I've opened the kit, got all the bits out, and I've just tried to organise them. So I did start this last week. I'm just finishing it off this week because I am entering the Poor Boys RC Speed Challenge, and this was one of the frames. So I'm going to be sort of switching back and forth between what you see now, the instructions, and probably going one more time on that. There we go. So that's 5. So we're on 6. Now I've got to try and remember what drawers were what. So let's go back to here. I'm going to turn the light on for a start, because it's a bit dark and grim out there today, so we need the extra light. But anyway, let's have a look at what we need. I need a bigger desk. Hey Reggie, you're back. How you doing? Yeah, last week, I don't know if you've made it through to the end. I didn't realise it cut off, but it was only like about 5 minutes extra. But I've got now like this front suspension kind of thing done. I just bolted these on, and then I realised, oh, the live stream's died for some reason. So we're on step 6. What I'm hoping today, so just so you've got an idea, let's go back to here. So it looks like 22 is when it is fully assembled, or no, there's a bit more. So there's a bit about like painting and putting the wheels on, those we won't worry about. Where I'm hoping to get to today is 18, to at least get the gearbox and everything, get the motor in. And then what I may do, like tomorrow or the next one, I'll wrap it up with just this little bit, getting the electronics in. Of course, this isn't going to include painting, but so we're here, but a lot of it seems fairly simple now. I think like the longest parts were those first few. So we're here at step 6, attaching the bumper. Right. Let's have a look. So we've got a bumper. Right. Those rods out. Let's put that to the side. Here's one of the things that's annoying me. So I'm going to flip over to the instructions. So it's here. So it's, you look down the side, you get saying, oh, you need all these screws and things, and then obviously you got the bumper there. But look, then they slip in like this. I wish they made it clear. All the parts you need for this like step are here, because like you could easily like. I missed one on stage 1, and it's because like they don't show you these bits. So let's get back to this. So we've got a bumper. We're going to need some BA stuff. Right, let's put all tools over there. Grease and stuff there. And yeah, I know this is going to take some hours. So yeah, like step in, step out. Same build from the other day. Yes, it is, Reggie, because it's still the Tamiya Frog. It was about 2.5 hours, I think I was building and got up to this stage. And then I realised the live stream had cut off, so I was like, okay, I'll just do it next week, because now I've got 2 weeks off work, and this has got to be built by Wednesday, because that's when the actual speed competition starts. So I've got to have this ready for Wednesday. So I'm guessing maybe a couple of hours and I should have the motor in, and then probably tomorrow will be the final little bits. So bumper, we need think these. Yep, so these are the B's. So that looks like that. So all the screws and things should be in these. That looks like... No, that doesn't look like that. Oh. Does that look like that? Yes. So we need two of those. A BA3. That might be that. That looks like it to me. So we want two of those. A BC6. That looks like possibly it. Yep, so two of those. Well, good news is so far I haven't lost anything. Hey, Brushwalker, how you doing? Screw you, Billy. Feels weird not saying it from my basement. Right, so we've got those two, and now we need the BD3. That looks like maybe this. No, that's way too small. Oh, that looks like that one. I think we have our parts. So yeah, there's a good side about Tamiya, that you can just lay the things on the instruction manual and actually see what you're getting yourself into. So now we've got to find like this funny little plate bit. Oh, that looks like it. There we go. I found that little thing. So yeah, I wonder if I can invent any new swear words. Right, it feels like a carbon kind of thing. Right, let's get rid of that. So, one of the key things I did learn, I learned a few things at least from last week. Number one is orientation. Make sure the orientation of your parts are the same as what they show in the picture. So let's pop that to the side. So what I mean by that, like I'm going to get my car and have it so that it looks like this, which that looks like it. So the bumper goes under, so the bumper's going to go on there. But I need this bit. So that is going to go like that. Right, so BA3 goes either side. So these see, like the slingshots making cars, big gorilla hands, make it difficult. Right, so I've got to put these things. Let's pop those down for a second. Okay, so I've got to unscrew these a bit because it looks like that's got to go. Let's try and figure out what the hell this is trying to say to do. Right, so let's try and do this bit by bit. So we've got this bit, let's get this in because it looks like it's saying MR13 goes through that one. No, that goes through this bit here. I'm not sure what bit to do first. It's kind of like doing all these things at the same time. So let's have a look. First of all, I think I've got to loosen once you put the thing in, it locks it. I think I've got to loosen this. Okay. Wrong one. Too big. Okay, so we've got to use our Tamiya one. Drop that for a second. Hopefully that's right. That does seem to be pulling a bit, so let's undo this. I mean, I'm hoping that's it. That you seem to have to like really bend it. And I don't know, my gut feeling is like you shouldn't have to bend it that much. Anyway, so that's going to go, the screws go up through there like that. Right, so let's turn this over, because I think it's going to be easier that way. Let's get some of these things out. Okay, needs a little bit of pressure on this to there's that bit onto that. Right, so that's one side. Then BD3 goes up the middle and it goes through here. I don't want to do that bit. You know what, I'm not impressed with this because it's still slipping. I'm going to use this screwdriver that I was using last week because it seemed to work. Okay, but it's not going to work for that one. I don't know the way it keeps slipping. Let's have a close look at this thing. Hold on, I'm going in the wrong way, aren't I? But it's going to be a speed. I do want to do a crawler at some point, but this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. So I'm doing it by the book, and then I'm going to sort of try and upgrade bits after that. But yeah, so lucky I noticed that. So we want to be going in through this side. That might be why it's difficult. So it needs to go through the middle, and it needs to go through the first hole. Yeah, that looks like it. Okay, just get it in there, and then let's get the other screw in. So one thing I am doing, leaving things very loose because I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't want to tighten up a screw too much and then need to unscrew it. Hey Z! Yeah, I saw your video about your customs bills, and yeah, I feel your pain because yeah, someone kindly sent me a gift and I ended up having to pay like customs fees for it. Just got to get it in lightly to hold it together. Yeah, because apparently these Tamiya kits, the screws you get, they look like Phillips heads. So the cross, but apparently they're under a thing called JIS, which look very, very close to Phillips, but are slightly different. So learning that apparently these were meant to be like the JIS type, but I'm assuming they're not now because they are jumping and slipping. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like from now, like I'm just not going to order anything from the US because like I just can't do the whole getting hit with these fees and stuff like that because it is crazy. Like the amount we have to pay extra. So see all the Americans out there thinking they love their president, he's fucking up like world trade because soon no one's going to want to buy anything from the US. And for an idea, like when you guys like when you buy things from China in the US and you get hit with all those fees, everywhere else in the world doesn't. I don't. In Canada, we don't get hit with all those fees. So soon, no one's going to want to trade with the US at all because it's just going to be too expensive to do anything. Anyway, I'm not a political person. Let's not go down that path. So we've got that on there. Then let's flip this over. And we want... So it looks like those arms... I've got the box here, let's have a look. I see. So these, like, it is right. So in this frame, I don't know if it shows there, that little, these little arms screw into that tiny little hole there. I was thinking they went into this bit here, but they don't. They go into that little hole in front. So that makes life easier. All that is one of these screws, a washer, I don't know, maybe there's just some weird screws on here because like this one's going in fine, he says as it slips. Right, so we've got one in. Let's flip that around. I've got to remember to tighten all this up. Let's do this and get that just to bite a little bit, and right, just needed it to bite on, and then I want to quickly tighten up these things I loosened. Not too much. Right, so they're not designed to go all the way down. There, because I believe the idea of these posts is to stop these arms bending backwards. But because the screws have like a tiny, like it's not all the way down, so I'm making assumptions here that they do it like that. Because it does need to flex. If it's rigid, first time you crash, or the first time I crash, or the 10th time I crash, because as I say, this is new, yeah, it's not going to be very pretty. See, now that so these screws, so they've got the little hole. I think these are the body posts. So when you've got the body, you pop that over, and then that's when you'd put those little paperclip kind of things on. But see that, it's showing here. I don't know if it's just me. This could be me, because as I say, this is the first time I'm doing this. But let's jump over to the... See, to me, this says it's going into there, into that... Ah, I see. So it does. It does. It makes sense. That does make sense. I thought it'd have to go all the way through and that it was going to bolt on the bottom of this, but it doesn't, because that hole doesn't line up. This is purely just the post for... Ah, I see. I see. See that, and I know I keep like, it is frustrating, but it is also good because I'm learning as I go along. There, see? So it goes in like that. I know anyone who's done these Tamiya kits is probably looking at me going, "You fucking idiot!" Like, just do this. But like when you've never done anything like this, it's not blatantly obvious. But it does feel good. You get that little dopamine kind of woohoo moment. see if this one works. Yeah, so let's use this. This thing's nice, but I can see it's small to get in those small areas, but when you've got like larger areas, it's like, let's just use this. Because yeah, I was thinking, why doesn't that go all the way through? It doesn't make sense, but it does, because it's purely just the post to hold the body on. There we go. Yeah, so the body goes over, clip. Okay, I don't know if that just happens to be perfect, but the line, the hole is going across. I don't know if it's meant to be like, if it just lines up perfectly like that, but I'm not complaining. Right, so we've got this, we've got our bumper thing, and we want to tighten these up. There we go. Okay, so I'll take it back on this screwdriver set. It is okay, there's one. Tell you what, I wouldn't like to dismantle this like fully. That would be a pain in the arse. That should be a challenge for people. Have a fully assembled car, how quickly can you dismantle it? I'm guessing it does need a little bit of flex in there. There should be one more screw for in there, but I'm not going to go ahead of things because there is probably a reason why there's not a screw in there at the moment. Right, so let's just make sure of all of this. So we've got 1, 2, 3 screws below. We've got the plate. Then we've got the screw, the washer going through that circle into there. We've got the post. That looks like it. So that was step 6. 7. And I know, yeah, it's been 40 minutes since I started, but about the first 15 minutes was trying to get my desk in some sort of order. But yeah, it's beginning to look like anyone on Facebook on the Poor Boys RC thing. Yeah, like I did the post on there saying, oh, I like, one of the things I like is like seeing it come together, and it is. That's starting to look more like a chassis now. And just before we continue, I'm just going to do apologies if you get blasted with sounds, but just to be fair, there we go. So that's the guy's channel who's doing this whole challenge, and if anyone was interested, there's still plenty of time. Hey Raccoon, how you doing? So there's still plenty of time. Basically, you build the car, and you got throughout July to submit your speed runs, and you can submit as many as you want, but you only ever do the fastest ones. So if you improve, you send in the new one. If you don't improve, then don't send that in. So it's basically build up an ORV chassis from Tamiya. There's a choice of several cars, and then race it with yourself to see if you can get the fastest. But anyway, let's do a gearbox. Right. Right, geary box. You know what, I'm going to move this because I can see me doing bad things. Basically, I'd rested a tray across a bin. I could just see it like toppling in and then I lose everything. Right, so that's stage 8. Don't need that yet. This looks like lots of cogs and gears. Right, so the only changes, so I'm trying to build this stock from the instructions. The only thing I'm changing from stock on this build is, as you might see in there, there's plastic bushings. I've got a pack of bearings. That's the only change I'm going to do from the stock, what comes in the box, purely because I don't want to dismantle it just to change that. Because the idea of this is I'm going to build it, then upgrade little bits, but I want the experience of disassembling those bits to get like the new bits in, but I don't want to disassemble the whole fucking car for just bushings. So that's like geary things. Right, so those look like stage 8. These look like geary things, but maybe not. Yeah, right, so here, so we've got these 3 different types. We've got standard, high speed, or torque. So it's telling me what I need for which. Right, let's get our bits first. So there should be a big ringy thing. Let's chuck your phone down there. That looks like that bit. I would say that's it. MD2 are ball bearings. Do I have a... Yeah, I've got a little open thing here, so... Oh no, I don't have scissors to hand. Let's do this. Right. So there's those. These bushings, I'm not going to throw away because if I lose something, it may come in handy as a spare until I get other parts, or I may lose something. So this is saying that we need 2 ball bearings like that. So I've got another 2 here. I'm assuming that these are going to come into it later, or they just give you spares. I don't know if they give spares. You know how sometimes you get things that you build and like you'll get 1 or 2 spare screws. So I don't know if Tamiya do this, or we'll just chuck in a couple of extras just in case, or if like they are precisely, you get exactly what you need, and if you drop one and lose it, you're fucked. That's how they make their money, I guess. After you've bought the kit, it's like the drug dealer. That's your comeback for the second thing, is to buy the screws that you lost. So that is stage 8. So I'm going to pop that to the side. That looks like that. It's just... I'm assuming... Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was looking for the little brake bit. So that's that. 2 bearings. 1 of those. Then... Ah, they measure up. I was like, how do I know which is which? But they do measure up. And is this the small one? Right, well, I'm going to go for the highest speed. So this is going to go into the might need it one day. Right, so this on the 49T goes, so this is a 90, it's a tooth, so 19 tooth. Right, let's chop that. There, right, so our little nuclear sign, right, so that's one, you only get one of those, and that's for step 8. Right, I think I can see a 49T on that, let me, 50, yeah, so it does, it has it written on them. Where should I put these? Those can go in there. This is probably never going to show up on camera. I can't even see it myself now. Right, so it's going to be at the bottom here. There, can you just make that out on the bottom? So let me try and do it up here. I wonder if that's a bit of a better camera. Does that show up a bit better? So yeah, it does say 49T. So yeah, that looks like that. Let's move that to the side. So these trays definitely come in handy. So it's saying to put all this stuff together, but it doesn't mention. Oh, it is saying grease there. See, they're little icons. So let's see if we can get. Remember the orientation. Orientation is key. So that's for the next stage. We've got that is going like so. On this, you see it's concave and then it's convex, so it's sticking out and goes inwards. So that. I'm not sure which way is which. That looks like that looks like that. So it goes like that. Then this goes through there. All right, so it has to line up. There we go. So that's that. Then we get that ring. That goes over that. Where's that little break bit? There. So I'm talking about the little break bit. Look, there, it flexes. It's like an earring. Well, one of those 1980s earrings. It's like that. Or you sort of bend it and push it through and it will pop back. But right, so this is probably best to put down because it pushes back through. So as I'm going to be pushing down, okay, that can't be that easy. Is it? It seems to be. Literally, so the way I put that on, just so you can see, I put it over the half and then I sort of rolled my thumb around, sort of pushing it around bit by bit. You know, like my logic was if ever you've changed an inner tube in a bike, sort of like that, where you sort of push, you got that tyre tool and you sort of go and you go round, so you're doing it bit by bit. But I swirled my finger and all of a sudden it just all clicked on. I know I'm waffling things, but so we've got one bearing goes in there. It is really satisfying. Seeing it come together, it is satisfying. So that went through like that. Right, so then the other bearing goes the other side. So now we have somewhat of a gear. So this bit's not needed yet. I was like, where does that bit go? So that looks like it. Now it's saying to put grease on. Should I put the grease on now? Let's put the grease on now. It says do the grease now. We do the grease now. Do I want something to put this down on when it's covered in grease? Let's just use this. My old handy dandy dirty bowl. Shall I give it? Let's give that a wipe. I'll be right back. I don't want to get all dirt in the grease. I don't know what I had in this bowl before, but that cleaned up pretty nice pretty quickly. Right, so let's get this. Oh, you know what? So there's Tamiya Talks RC, and I've seen some of their videos, and there's a neat little trick. As you see, the bearing just fell out. Neat little trick, as we're going to be doing the grease anyway. Let's pop that in there. Is he says do just a tiny dab of grease on the inside, then when you put the bearing in, that will kind of stick it in there. So let's, or not. Oh, it should do, because I've done the grease that side. So let's just do a dab of grease this side. And pop this bearing in there. There, so it kind of acts just like a minor sticky little thing to... So with this grease, I don't know if like less is more or slather it on. I don't know what logic people use for this. So yeah, if anyone joins this, if you could put in the chat someone, if anyone like is joining here from like RC World, using this grease, is it less is more, or is it slather it on? Because I have I've only got this one tube that comes with a kit, but I have a big tub of white grease, 3D printers, all stuff like that. Because you have to grease up those poles, everything. You have to grease up your pole every now and again. Right, this is a nice t-shirt, so let's get some tissue. I was just gonna do the whole. That was a clean hand, but... Right, then we can put this bowl to the side. And we are now on number 8. Now, so this is a bit that takes the time. It's finding all the little bits you need for that part. So... we need that, obviously. So let's pop that there. Right, it's saying gearbox 1, so this is... I've seen these weird little pyramid things. I have seen them somewhere. Are they in here? Ah, yeah. I was going to say, I thought I'd seen them somewhere just recently. Oh, for once! They've given a bag and you used everything inside the bag in one step. So that is not that. So here's where I'm being cautious. So let's jump back to our booklet. Sorry, so we've done that. We've done 7. So we're on 8. So I'm looking here at this. Now, as you can see, if I do that, so that is not that bit, because see how the teeth go down. So you've got the post and then you've got the teeth angling downwards at an angle, where on that one the teeth go pointing towards. So see, this is flat, this is what I'm talking about. This is flat here, and then you've got the post. This should be those teeth bits next to the post for this bit. So that's why that one I'm putting to the side. Along with my little geary thing, because that's the one that I need. So this is the part. You see how we got that stem and then the teeth are going up towards it. So that is that. We should have 3 of these, which we do. Oh look, there's those other 2 bearings. There we go. So that's those. There's a staple. And now we need BC1 and MR3. Oh, MR3 looks like these. Yep. So 2 of those. Then we have a BC1 and there should be 2 of them. That's not it. That looks too big. Yep, that one's too big. So that's that. We need that. That looks like maybe. That looks like it to me. Actually, no. That was lucky I double checked. This looks like the one. Yeah, because it looks like it because of the thread. So just for anyone else out there, if you look at these 2, they're kind of the same size, but the threads, the bottom one, the thread is a lot, it's not as close together. I don't know what the technical term for that would be, but that looks like 2 of those. Okay, I'm quite confident with that. Right, so step 1, we're going to get our plastic thing. Again, Orientation, note the two little dots either side. So we're going to flip back now to desk. So that's that way. If I flip it, look, there's no two holes on that side. So we want it that way up. Then we need our grease again. Cool. I'm going to go with the slather it on method and not the less is more. Just because, as I say, I've got plenty of white grease. And that's what this looks like it is. Just scraping it off my fingers. Before I scrape it off your fingers before you wipe. Right, let's get this grease back on. Yeah, so for anyone watching this like into building RCs, I know this is going way slower than most people, but as I say, it's all new. Right, so see, here's that other bit like in the instructions where it suddenly throws something. So we've got these two bearings and it looks like we've got this thing called B2. Let's have a look on. Oh, there we go. So B2 are these bits here. I can tell because it's not going to show, but that says B and there's a little 2 next to each one. So I'm not sure if I should go and wash my hands because I'm getting grease on everything. So there's that. Right, so it doesn't say to, but I'm going to do the little grease trick because I'm only going to do a tiny little dot. This is just to help it stick. Because it does say to do it to 2 of them, so that was a little bit of a, you do need to force that in a bit. Just for anyone else, as I say, that this video is for, well, just to hang out, but any noobs doing this, that you've never ever done this, because that's what I am. So you're getting the experience of what it is like to have never done this and putting it together. So now we've got those. Then we need some of that. Right, so no, it's still greasy bits, so just tissue. So right, so there's your extra thing. Keep the cloth or tissue, something like that, because your hands are going to get greasy, get grease on them. So we have this thing here, so C16, that I've seen, that's a metal bit. I've seen that. Just do these have a stamp of a thing? Right, so R, right and left. Now see there, you see there's a R in there. So that comes out, and there's an L on there. Now, so this is my right hand. It might be reversed, because you know the cameras reverse things. So, gearbox right. So we want the R one, so that's that. Let's put the L out of the way, because we don't want to get confused with things. Right, so orientation would be like that. So that is going to be like that. The hell is that B1? So here's one of those times, right, where it just suddenly slips something in the instructions and you're like, well, what's that? Oh, B1 is this, what we just put together. Because let me jump to the instruction things. So I was thinking B1, what? Because I thought this bit was what we just put together, but it's not. That's something else that we'll find out what the hell that bit is in a minute. That's what we just put together. So we got, tell you, like, if I wrote these instructions, they would be so much better. Right, so we've got our orientation here. We have one of these that goes into here. Or not. Because they have, see that little nipple bit there, but then there's no hole there, like there's no thing. Oh, because it doesn't go in that one. So right, so yeah. So that is, so the bits we just made, that goes in there. There, because that had the little hole in it. Let me pop that there, just so it holds that up to show you. I'm just grabbing the other side, you see, so this big hole here, see how it has that little hole, the little slot bit up there. So that's how that bit goes. So we've got our bit here. I put this just because it levitates, because if I put it flat on the thing, it pops up. So what the hell is B1? Oh, B1. Obi-Wan Kenobis. Right, so just like where those bits were, there's B1. I tell you, it would be really interesting to see, like someone who's experienced with doing these, actually like do like a switch off their brain and do a, I'm a complete noob. Let's see if I follow these instructions, if I didn't know any better, how well would I do? Like, it'd be really interesting to see someone do that. Because to me, they kind of jump all over the place, and all of a sudden there's like this bit, and you're like, where did that come from? Right, so this goes into here. I might have to build this lot on here. So that's that. Then this goes on to here. Right, so so this bit here, we need some grease, of course. I don't know, grease doesn't really dry out, does it? There, see, I'm going with the slather method. See, like that, then that goes on there like that. Then it's saying put loads of grease around here. I do have that gut feeling that I'm going to get towards the end of this build and it'll be like no grease left. As I said, like, I'll just use some of my white grease that I have. I'm just purely pointing out that it would be nice if, and maybe they do, maybe Tamiya does do it, if there's like a video or something on their website and they showed you how much grease you should apply so that you kind of use the right amount. Right, so we got that. That goes on there, all floaty and shit. Then we've got this C16. So that's the big bugger. I saw that there. Yep, C16, so that's the big bugger there. Pop. And snip. There we go. Just filling around it just for any like little burrs or bits sticking out. So right, so this bit, there is potential to put it maybe the wrong way around. But if you have a look, if I can tilt it. So this, the bit you're looking for, this C shape here, so all around this bit, that lip goes higher. See, this one is lower than that one. That shows up, and that's what the instructions are showing. So orientation is like that. Right, so you see this C bit here? That lines up with this bit, or I'm putting my finger. So that's how that goes. Like that. Yeah, because on the next page you see there's those little screw holes there. So yeah, that is right. It's not, you know when I've just got that gut feeling, oh, you've missed a bit, or like there should be something, because that's just floating, like that's just nothing holding that there. Right, so concentrate, Paul. ADHD. So that's these two posts go through. I see. So that goes in there like. There we go. So it drops in. Then these screws are going to go up from underneath. Trying not to. That one. No, the big one. No. Okay, so this, you've got to push that down. Can I flip this over? So I'm putting my fingers over those. Just trying to think. Right, so I'm going to hold it like this, like a claw. So I'm doing like that. 2 fingers over those, thumb underneath, holding it steady to turn it over, and something fell out. Oh, just this little white bit. I can drop that back in fairly easy. I've got to look up what Tamiya translates to. It's probably Japanese for must have 3 hands. Okay. So it is all well and good having pictures. Pictures are great. Because I'm a firm believer in that whole picture is worth 1,000 words or 1,000,000 words, whatever it is. But sometimes you do need a few words. Like, should I be cranking this as hard as I can to get it like as tight? Or is it just like, do it hand tight and then a little bit more? Like, I don't know. Like, if you do it too loose, does it just blow up and sort of all burst open? But it doesn't, right, so it doesn't feel like you can screw anymore. I know that feeling. Right, so there's that, and then our little thing here was in there. So let's pop that back there, because now we have done 8. Just going to eyeball it. So here's my advice. Anyone doing this, again, very first time, is context. Keep looking at these images. Oh, so Leon, sorry, I've just answered the chat. Less is more, is it? Right, okay. I will calm down on the grease. Don't go wild. And hey, Turtle, how you doing? Sorry, I just glanced over to the chat. You know what I'm like when I'm doing slingshots. Like sometimes I'm just like off in my own world, just waffling along, and but yeah, because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. So if I miss anything in chat, it's not a personal thing. I'm just trying to figure this out as I go along. But good to see you, Turtle. And as you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm sure I've told the story as well. Like in the UK, they call it Hero Turtles. But anyway, concentrate. So this looks good. I've done those 2 posts. We've done that. We've got that bit, that bit, that bit. We put that in the metal. We put that bit in. And then we've put those screws up into that. I'm pretty confident that 8 is done. Oh, looks like a lot going on for 9. just going to pop that there, just to get it out of the way. And like, we're going to go with what Leon says now, like the less is more. Right, so we're on number 9. Right, so gearbox 2. Right, so let's get our orientation. Remember that's another, and I'm going to keep saying these things because they're working. Get your orientation to what it is in the booklet. So that is pretty much like that. So this bit is not quite going like this metal line here. It's not quite fully that way, just a slight angle. So now let's get our screws that we need. Okay. Right, that has to be these. That has to be, because just glancing at these, there's 3 of them. Yep. So that's those. Tell you what, I wish I had another one of that. I should print another one of these, because then every time I get the bits out, I don't need as many. Maybe just like 10. So as I get the bits out, I can then put them in another tray. Do I have one? Kinda, but not kinda. Right. So that's that. Then we want some BC. So BC1, that's the same as what we had before. So how many of those? 2. I'm going by just down here where we had those from here. So that's the same number, BC1, so 2 of those. BD5, we need 3 of those. Before I pull them all out, is that the one? Yep. So there's our 3 of those. MR8. Is that that? That looks like that little metal bar. Yep, I think that's it. So MR12. Yep, that's those. We need all of those, all 5. And then the MD. That's the other bit. Where did I put? There it is. So now there's that bit. So just to show you anyone, because do this. So there. So the MD9, you see how this one, you got the post and then the teeth below. So you got post, flat bit, then teeth. It's just to make sure that people doing this in the future, you get the right bit. So there's that, and that looks like it for this section. Let's pop that back there. We've still got our greasy bit here. So let's see. So we got that. Right, so first of all, they want me to grease this bit up. There. Leon, if you're still around, like, is that a good less is more kind of thing? that's it, yeah, so that goes on like that. Do we need any more grease? Right, I'm going to quickly wash my hands because like that's it for grease for the moment. There we go. Oh yeah, and I've got to remember I've still got that bit that I greased up. That's in the bowl because I'm guessing. Yeah, so that I need that in a minute. So let's pop these in. Okay. Just feels weird that they drop all the way. Oh, sorry. Just feels weird that they drop all the way in. So that's like these little 5 silver metal posts. Oh, I see there. So hopefully that shows up. So 1, 2, 3 drop right in. These two, they sort of stick out halfway. Right, so the MR8, so that's the big post, goes into there. All right, it doesn't rest, so let's get our bowl. So I'm looking this bit. Right, so what do we reckon? Let's bring that up. I think it's saying is that it? There. Just when I thought I was done with the grease. I think that's right. Not touch. You feel like your gears will slip. Right. I'm kind of hoping that is right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So Tamiya talk. playlists. Still got grease on my hands. Oh, so we're on step 9. I just want to check to make sure. Yeah, see, so he's got the post in there. Ah, so it goes the other way around. I'm so pleased I checked that. So this should be... Oh, there we go. There we go. And so much for less is more. Now I'm covered in grease again. Right, let's have a look. Do I have to fuck around with anything with grease on it anymore? No. Wash hands again. Right, so now we've got that. Now we need the other metal bit. I'm assuming that's just going to line up, and it does. Ah, I see. So that goes on like that. Tweezers. Have I missed anything? Just have a look. Let's just go to that. So I got that bit in. I got that. Just feels a tad loose. Right, so let's do these two little ones first. Let's just try and get this held somewhat in place. I don't know if these are magnetic. I don't think this is magnetic. No, it's not. Let's just do this loose. Oh, now I've got it together, I can move it down here. Then we go on with these three. Two, three. Let's do one at a time with these. There we go. Right. Oh. There. So got that screw through there. All I'm doing is holding my V thing with the bolt, and then we're going to screwdriver this. That there. I'm going to have another look at that little video because when I go to turn this gear, oh no, it does turn. I was just like, oh, it's not turning. So is that meant to turn a lot? I just want to see, like, when he does. I'm just looking at another video. Because it doesn't turn that easily. But it does. Right, I'm going to go with it. Yeah, it is slightly off. There we go. And then got these nuts. Right, where's our little cross thing? Gonna hold it like that, and let's get these screwed in. Last one. Are you ready? Have a good day at work. Why did I think you worked nights? Right, I think that is a gearbox, and let's see, it doesn't move that well. Should it be like that? I don't know if it's meant to be like tight. I don't want to start putting other things together if that's not. And just quickly, let me share screen on here. So I'm sure I got all the bits in okay. So he tightens everything down. I'm trying to see, does he test it? I'm going to go with it. Like it. So we've done that bit. That's 9, so we're on 10. Right, so now we've got to put the gearbox onto. You've got to put the gearbox onto the chassis. So let's just do that. And all I'm going to do is hope that I'm not going to regret that gearbox being. It's not hard, but it's like there's resistance. I don't know if it's meant to be like that, or should it be like really loose? Right, so where are we? We need to get some. Right, so we're on number 10. Not doing bad, eh? Right, so for 10, BB2, BB1 we should have 2. Okay, am I being blind? Oh, these, are these that? Oh, no. Oh, that gave me a heart attack then. I thought, oh, I haven't got the right bits. So those are BB, so BB1 are these silver ones. So we need 2 of those. BB4. See, that's, I can see that's, oh, that's those. So we need 2 of those. And this BB4. Is that these? Let's move this out of the way. Let's move those out of the way. No, it's not those. Those look too big. Oh, actually, no, that's a closer thread. I hope I haven't, like this, I think the pinion, I haven't done that yet. I'm hoping that's right. Right, so these BB4, have we used a BB4 before? So these look like, right, so it's not that. So that looks like these, so BB4, B2. I think that's it. Right, we need the chassis now. Okay, how have I lost a big, oh there it is. It's because the carpet's pretty much the same colour as that. Right, so it's going on the back like that. So here's the back. Then so hold on. So I had to put so these go into here. Right, okay, so let's do these. Because these are like the post at the front. And yeah, and this is the bit that from the last video when I was doing this, I said I'm worried that there's only 3. So that makes sense, because one at the front, 2 at the rear. don't want to go in too far. I don't want it to come out the other side, which it was starting to do that. Because something tells me you're going to put something in and like... I'm going to keep screwing this in just until I feel it come through. That's it. So that's those two out the way. Ah, I see. Right, so that's like that. Then this big one goes in there. And I'm going to stop where it goes in. And then this one goes below it on there. So the confusing bit is like, it only tells you to have 4 screws. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8 here. So what you got to do is you unscrew these, put under these ones down here. Just got confusing because it's like, well, you told me to pull out 4 screws and you've shown me 8. So that is like that. And how does this gearbox go in? Right, so the long... Let's figure this out. Right, I'll bring up the screen while this is not very clear. So I've got these posts in, I've got these screws just put in. Right, yes, so it's saying here, remove screws. So I'm going to pop those there. So if we come back here, what it's saying is those 2 smaller screws in the gearbox, so this, and then the ones on the other side, you've got to take those off now. So, anyone, oh, they come off pretty easily. I was going to say, anyone putting this together, don't tighten those two very tightly because it seems like they are temporary. I'm putting them back in. No doubt they get used in a minute. It's very weird that, why would you have the 2 screws in there just temporarily? Seems like a waste of time, that bit, putting those 2 in, or these 4 in, because surely it's held together by these other 3 big ones. But Tamiya say, Tamiya do. That should be a slow. Tamiya say, Tamiya do. Right, so these big screws up here go through this hole, the top one here. So I knew not to push them through all the way. I'm just doing it hand tight because okay, so that's those. There, then the two that I unscrewed from anywhere else. But these ones go into the big hole. Yeah, so they're going to go into that big hole there. This is going to be funny. Okay, so that did go. That wasn't as bad as I. It's like, oh, you're going to push this into a deep. Push your thing into a deep dark hole and just not know if you're actually in there. That's it. The gearbox assembled and attached. It's exciting, this, eh? Right, so now we're on number 11. 11. And what we're going to do is just make sure. So, remove screws, gearbox, remove screws. So we've done that. We've put those back to the side. We've got the big ones in, we've got the posts in. I think that looks like it. I'm kind of happy with that. Ah, so fully tighten. That doesn't sit right with me. This bit here. So I've tightened it and it's come out the other side. But why would that screw be sticking out there? Because you're going to need to put something and screw it in. And it's going to say, unscrew it. Now I'm going to leave one like that and the other one not. Because, yeah, I have gut feelings. Right, so we need a drive shaft and a joint boot. Is that the right one? I'm going to assume that, but I don't see any others. That has to be it. See, that looks like something different. Ah. Now, I'm going to jump to a video for this because in the instructions it's saying cut off bits. As you only get the one, let's make sure of that. I'm sure they are right, but let's just have a look what they do. Right, so he does that. Right, I think it's right. Right, so let's go and get some skizzers. Right, so no turning back now. Let's come back to here. So that's where I cut. Right, so he has right, okay, so anyone doing this, I cut it in half. This butted out bits, all of this has got to go on either side. So you want to cut to there, where my fingernail is. You want to keep that bit that's sticking out, but cut the rest off. Right, so my technique as I'm figuring out, flatten it. It's close enough. There we go. I don't know how perfect this needs to be. Sorry if that was off camera, but there. So you should end up with, and I'm going to hold it there for a while so you can see, you should end up with that. So where you had it really long, cut it in the middle, like exactly in the middle. You'll see a very faint line, so you cut it like that, right in the middle. Now you've got two bits. Then you're going to trim the ends off both sides of both ends so that you end up with just that last little lip bit sticking out. That's what you want. Skizzers. Right, so now what the fuck are we doing with it? we'll go to here, and we will come down here. Now, so like there, as you see, so there's that middle bit, so you get it all in one. You want to cut it exactly there, so you almost pretty much right in half. You'll see a line there. Then you want to cut here, along where my mouse is going there, and then you'll cut there, and then same on the other side, so that you end up with two exactly the same. Right. So we need a drive shaft. I'm guessing that is in this tray. Yep, there we go. That is your, let me come back to my camera. So these are your drive shafts. They look like nipple piercing things if you have ginormous nipples. Put that back down there. So 2 drive shafts, 2 of these little things. And see, another Tamiya bit where they just add in a part and don't tell you anything. There. What's this bit? Like it doesn't tell you what that is. I don't know. What the fuck is that bit? Right, what I'm going to do, just to save me using less trays, because now I've got a few empty things. Because now I don't need that tray. I can put that in there. So let's jump to this guy's video, because this guy's already done it. Let's see what he does, because it's not a part. It's the grease, that stuff. Right. So if I was doing these instructions again, what I would be doing is I would be like do a capital G next to it. So when you do the icon for this, do a capital G next to it for grease or something. Make it clear that this is grease that you're putting on. So get my bowl, because we're dealing with greasy bits. I'm just sort of getting it on one end and I'm just sort of tapping it, so like that. Okay, I'm going to go back to that video. Does it meant to go all the way through? Yep, so it is meant to come out the other side. There we go. So I'll try and do this one on camera a bit better. You got this like this and got it in there. Now what I'm doing is squeezing it and rotating. It's like stirring it. There, and also it will just pop through. Now, if it was me, I would have done it the other way round. Push it through, then grease up the ends. But, so that's just me. Now I'm going to go on and get this grease off. Right, little tip for anyone when you're using this grease that they give you, that one, it doesn't fucking wash off. So just be wary of that. Right, we're on 12. Because it hasn't told us what to do with those bits yet. So let's jump over to here. So 12. Do we need the chassis? Right, let's move the chassis out of the way. We don't need that for a moment. Oh, remind me, it's on my right hand side. 11, another page, over to 12, and let's bin these little rubber bits because I'll look at those later and go, oh, what the fuck are those? Did I forget something? Right. So, what is that got in here? Oh, it's just their thing. Oh, parts. Right. So, we've got these bits here. So, MR6, we need 2 of those. O-rings 5. Oh, that's these little things. 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that makes me nervous because 5 of those and I've got 3 left. Because when you're building it, you're kind of thinking left, right, be the same. So obviously not. Right, so 5 of those. A plastic bearing, 4 of those. Now this is where we come to my little baggie up here. So this is apparently a kit for the frog. So what we're going to do is, let's pop these in here. Just check them. That looks good to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these bearings, because I'm building this to the instructions, with the exception of the bearing. I don't want to dismantle everything. Let's keep that little baggy, so if I've got any left at the end. So that's 4 bearings, and we want MD14. Oh, fuck off. I'm just trying to get this to balance up to here, and as soon as I let go it rolls, and it wants to roll, so I'll just leave it. There's that, and there's that. Oh, 2 of those. So let's make sure 2 of those, 1 and 1. Yep, so that is everything we need for this step. Right. These bits I've seen. Oh, those are on here. These bits here, so let's snippity snip these off. So let's have a look. These are obviously 3D printed, you can see from the inside. But there is no L or R on these, so I don't know if they're both. Are these both exactly on the same? No, they are not. So one of them is for the left, one is for the right. Thank you very much, Tamiya, for making it very clear which one's left and which one's right. So that. So that would be this one here. Orientation. So I'm putting my funnel the same as here, and that's showing the circle is at the back and this arm is at the top. See how that goes? Now to show the other one, to show you why it's not that one, if we have the funnel pointing this way, then the arm is at the bottom and the hole is at the top. So that's how you're going to make sure you got the right one. So this one I'm going to put over here. And this is our one that we want. Double checking. The funnel is going this way. The hole is at the bottom. The arm is at the top. So, what are we doing here? We are so we want a bearing in this side, like so, so a bearing in there, and then there's one on the other side. Like so. So far so good. Then we need, let's get this in our orientation, MD14. So that's the biggest one. That's going to go through the bearings out the other side. And then there's a little hole there for one of these pins. I'm assuming it doesn't matter what way round the pin goes. I don't know if these pins are permanently in there or temporary just to hold things together. So we got that. Now we get another bearing, and that's going to go in that metal bit we just put in. Looks like a bearing goes. No, it's not a bearing. That's MR11, so one of these spacers. Right, so hold on a minute, we've forgotten a bit. Nothing too important, just to grease. It's showing to grease up here. And we pop this through again. Just onto there. So we got that. Let's just have a look for these. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Weird how you have 2 on one spot. Okay, so we've got 1 of these. Let's get my tweezers. Right, so I'm just resting it in there. When we push the drive shaft in, that's probably going to push that down. Ah. Actually, it's saying to grease up the motherfucker. Sounds very rainy out there. Yeah, so I've greased it. I'm not even going to try and push it because that's going to go the ping and go flying off somewhere. Then we're going to do the drive shaft. So that went in there. Okay, let's place this down gently. Now we're going to do kind of the opposite on here with MD16, which is this one, middle one. So we're going to grease up O-ring and put it in there. Okay, so we've greased up an O-ring, we've put it in there. Then we're going to line up, because the drive shaft, it has two little pins and this has the slots. So we're going to line those up and now we're going to grease up this. So is that it? That's it for one side. So we will plonk that there. We're going to get our other drive shaft. We're going to get our other bit. That we can match up like that. So our funnel is pointing that way. The hole comes up. So that way we're good. So bearing in this side. Bearing in this side. Let's get the orientation like that. Then we're going to get the other big one. We're going to grease up just up this end. I'm going to pop that through the bearings. Then we're going to get our other clip and pop that through. Now we're going to get one O-ring to go in here. Get my tweezers and we're going to grease that one up good and proper. I'm going to drop that in there. So we're here, we've greased up the O-ring, put that in. So let's get our orientation. So we are like that. Now we're going to get this other one, going to line up our little pins. So when you got it on, what I do is twist it a bit like that, because you know if it's gone in the slots it won't twist. If I let go of everything then it's going to move. So that feels good. Then from here we get our last little bit, and that gets two greasy O-rings. I heard the count from Sesame Street then. Two greasy O-rings. There's that. And another one. Just making sure that my stream is still going. Because last week when I started this, the stream just gave up at one point. There. A little bit of a nightmare trying to make sure that they're flat in there, but those are 2 greasy O-rings. I do love that now, 2 greasy O-rings. I'm easily pleased. Right, so our thing then goes here. So that looks good. So let's jump back to here. So we've done all of that. Now we're back to putting things on the chassis. Right, so we need these, which are here. 2 of those, and then we need 4 BB6. Which I believe are these. How many did it say? 4? So that is those. I don't know if that shows up, but the threads are further apart. Right, let's figure this out. So we've got the gearbox in already. So those 2 bits that I just put together go either side here. And then you put a plate on and 2 screws. So let's give that a go. Ugh. Right, so it's saying that this one, so the second one we made, note in the pictures, see here, so I'm going to go back to my desk, but how I've got the orientation here, see we've got the one with the little stem on our right hand side. I'm not saying whether it's the left or right of the car, my right hand side, and here the one with a very long stem will be on the left. So this was the first one we just made, this is the one second. So let's come down to our desk. So here, so here's the, I'm looking at it exactly like the picture in the guide. So this is going to go through here, and then this one's going to go through the other side. But how does that line up? So we need one of these. So this bit goes through at the back here. So here it's going to thread through here. Then this is on there like that. So can we, the chances of getting this to stay up, 0. So let's see if we can line this up. So that is going to go in there. And that is going to go like, I see. Or do I? Right, okay, so I've put that through there. I'm going to hold this up afterwards because it'll make it easier. That is going to go into there. See what it's showing is on, let me come back to here to explain. So on here, like remember we had, like we said, the big hole and then the arm here. So the other side has got this, that goes in to the gearbox where you got these 2 slots. That goes into there. I've done that. Then this arm, so that is going up at an angle, but this looks like it's going straight across. Right, let's jump to the video because those instructions are not very clear. Right, we can go to the next video because like he's 12 here, steps 12. Right, I've noticed that it's, like he must have, like, I think he's done this before because like he does some bits that the instructions don't tell you to do yet. Alright, so that bit's to keep the battery door closed, and I think he does that to stop it flapping around all the time. See, so he's using the bushings there, which right, so this he's doing, yes, he's jumping around a bit. because like his video says steps 12, but this is actually step 11 that he's doing. No, actually, no. My mistake. No, he is doing 12. Because we are on 13 now. My mistake, ignore that. He is doing it by the book. He's just done one bit. If you have a look on the gearbox, he's got like those two little metal bits sticking out towards the very back. Like, and the instructions haven't said to do that yet. He knows what he's doing, so I'm sure that that's fine. I'm just not going to do that because I see what he's done. Yeah, so we're kind of in this similar kind of place. He's done that middle join and put it in the car. That's probably smart. It looks like a smart move. Right, so see, that goes like that. Then he places that. Right, I see, yep, so I'm doing mine upside down. That's why it doesn't line up, because this bit goes there. I think he might have been onto something about putting those middle bits in on their own. No, it definitely goes that way. So the arm goes upwards. So we know that bit goes in there, we know this bit goes in here. Why does his not look like that? Is it meant to be like that? I'm doing something wrong here. Because then that would go like that. No, it goes like right. I think he was onto something by doing this. I think there's something wrong in that gearbox. I think I've messed up there. Maybe not. Ah, there we go. Okay, is this meant to turn? Holy shit, like that is tough. I mean, it is greasy, but Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to call this live here because I'm really not sure if there's something wrong in this gearbox. Because these, look, you can barely turn it. I don't know if that's right or wrong. My gut is saying it's wrong. So I'm going to call it here. I'm going to go back and look over some videos and see if I'm actually doing this right. But, thanks anyone who joined in, and maybe I'll do something later or tomorrow. But yeah, sorry, not finishing it.